Hey, what's up guys? Rob here. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to detail out Christine because she just drove down from Connecticut to Florida and she really needs it. I did run it through a touchless wash before, so now I detail it and I'll show you how I do it. I have another video, link above, how I used to do it, but I've refined it doing this so many times. Basically, we can do it with 1 cup of solution, which is mostly water, and some detailing spray. I'm gonna go over everything with you, so stick around, it's coming right up. All right, let me go over with you what you're gonna need to make this happen. It's not a lot of stuff, and most of it is very accessible and very inexpensive. And I'll put links in the description below for all this stuff if you guys are interested in just clicking on the links. I do have an Amazon affiliation, so I think I'll get like 10 cents if you buy something. Not that I care, you can search it out on your own. Either way is fine with me. You're gonna need some microfiber towels. Doesn't matter which brand, there's just some decent quality microfiber towels. I usually buy them in a batch. You're going to need some of these waffle drying, microfiber drying towels. You can get these on Amazon, as I said, links below. They're not expensive. I think it's $8 for 2 or something like that. I usually have a nice soft polishing cloth just to do finishing work. You're gonna need a keg cup like this one or something of that size. For detailer, I love this Nano Skin Smooth. It works fantastic. It buffs off really easy. It smells great. And the best thing about it is it's not expensive. A gallon of this stuff is like 20 bucks. And you're supposed to dilute it 50-50 with water. So that's what I do in this container, is I fill it up about halfway with the smooth, and then I fill the rest with water. So you're basically getting 2 gallons for 20 bucks. I mean, you can't beat that price, and it works fantastic. I've tried a whole bunch of different detailers, but I really love this stuff the best out of all of them. I mean, I've tried McGuire's, everything you can think of, a whole bunch of different ones. And then the real magic happens with this no rinse, this Optimum no rinse. I bought it in this small bottle the original time just to try it out, and it's so good that I only buy it in the gallons now, and I recommend you get it that way, because trust me, you're gonna love this stuff. And a gallon of this costs maybe 3 of these bottles, but will fill, I don't know, it'll fill probably 20 of these bottles before you run the gallon out. So it's way more economical to buy the gallon, and trust me, you're gonna use it, so just buy the gallon. That's it. This is the whole kit to detail your car with one cup. 1 cup. It's my 1 cup detailing method. It used to be 1 bucket, but after doing it so many times, I realized that you don't need an entire bucket. It's just, you're gonna waste it. So let me go over the steps. As I said, the basic procedure from my old video still applies. I've just refined a little bit with the product and the amount. So stick around and we'll do this car quick, and I'll show you how it comes out at the end. It's gonna give this brilliant showroom, silky smooth, like it was just double waxed and polished finish, and you're not gonna put nearly that kind of work into it. So stick around, it's all coming right up. All right, so the first thing I do is I mix up this no rinse. The first thing I do. If I don't have this ready, then I get that ready. So that's half and half of the smooth. And then the no rinse, when in a kegger cup like this, I just usually fill the bottom, just so it's covering the bottom. 1 little splash for good measure. And then I'm gonna top it up with water. I'm not gonna go all the way to the top, maybe just to the top of the lines here. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna soak microfiber towels in this, and you need room when you put the towel in that doesn't overflow. So watch this. All right, that is usually enough to do the entire car. If your car's really dirty, you may have to make another cup But trust me, I mean, did you see the amount of no rinse we put in there? It's next to nothing. So feel free to make another cup if you really need to. If you have a bigger car, I'm doing the Model 3. If you're doing a pickup or truck or something like that, you might have to use 2. And it also depends on how dirty it is. So let's go out and put a towel in it and we'll start the next process. All right guys, so you're gonna use 3 to 4 microfiber towels for this typical car. My car usually takes about 4 to finish it if it's not super dirty. Let me just zoom out a little bit. And that's typically all you need to do the car. If you have a bigger car or the car is very dirty, your mileage may vary. You may need more than 4, in which case you're gonna have to make another cup of solution. But you know, you guys saw how much no rinse we used. It was very little. So feel free to make another cup as you need it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a microfiber towel that's folded into 4s, like this one is. There's 4 sides, 4 panels to each side. And that's how we're gonna use it. So to get it in the solution, I'm just gonna make it small and dunk it in here and let it soak. And when we're ready to use that, we'll be back. And the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our detailing solution that we made, which is 50-50 smooth and 50% water. And we're gonna prep the next panel. So I've already done the glass and the front, the trunk lid, the front lid, and the front of the car. So now I'm working on the fenders, and then I'll work my way back. But we'll do a fender together to show you basic process. So we're gonna prep it by spraying it with detailing, just misting it with detailing solution. I try not to go. I do the headlights as part of the fender. I try not to go onto a panel that I finished because that just makes more work for me. Down here where it gets a little bit dirtier, I usually give it a couple of sprays just to make sure it's on there good. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our microfiber towel that's freshly prepared in the no rinse solution, and I squeeze it out. Typically, you want it wet, but not dripping wet. So try to get, I don't squeeze it real hard. I want it to have the product in it because that's doing all the magic. But I don't want it dripping all over the floor. The point is to be able to do your whole car in the garage, in the dry, out of the sun, out of the weather, and you're not going to get anything on the floor. The floor will stay dry. You're going to use very little product. You're going to use very little water, and it's just a super economical way to clean your car. Like I said, if your car's really dirty, I mean, I just drove this. I didn't drive it all 1,200 miles, but it traveled 1,200 miles. Some of it was on the auto train. It was filthy because the first leg of the drive from Connecticut to Virginia was in rain. So it's, 35 degrees, it's winter, the roads are sandy, it's rainy. It was pretty dirty, so I'll take it through a touch-free wash, or if I have time, I'll pressure wash it myself in the driveway. And then I just dry it off, and then I'll start this detailing process. So we've got it prepped with a detailer on the fender, and we're gonna use one clean side at a time. This side is clean. When this side gets dirty, we're never gonna use it again. We're gonna turn it to another clean square. So we have 8 squares all together if you fold it into 4s. Very easy, right? So once it's prepped with detailer, we're just gonna wipe it down. Now the no rinse solution, the no rinse product has like, kind of, I wouldn't say it's grease, but it's just kind of a non-stick property to it, as well as a surfactant probably, because it just is really smooth, not gonna damage your finish. So I'm checking this to see, and you can see that there is some dirt here, like especially where my fingers were. That's enough for me to say, let's flip it to another side. Flip it to another side. We'll use this clean side to do the rest of it. So periodically, depending on where you are on the car, be checking this rag. If it gets dirty, you want to stop and go to a clean side so that you're not moving dirt around on your finish. You want to keep your finish nice and clean, and if you do it this way, it will stay very nice. I've had this car for 19 months, and I pretty much clean it anytime it gets dirty, which sometimes means 4 to 5 times a week, and it still looks fantastic, has no swirl marks or anything on it. So I know this works. So we're gonna finish it up. You're gonna go down here. I do the rocker at the same time as I'm doing the fender, and same with the doors. I'll do the panel and then I'll do the rocker, but just make sure you're checking, because this is the real dirty part. And you know, I usually come up and get the inside here when I'm doing it, and that will usually leave dirt. So that's kind of finishing off that side. It was already a little bit dirty from doing the bottom, so we won't use this side again. And what I'll do is I only have one hand if I'm gonna show you guys, but I typically don't put it down. These two sides have been used. We switch to the two new sides, and then I'll put it on top of the cup just to keep it so it's not touching anything. I don't really like to put it down on anything. I'll put it on here. I'll put the dirty side up if one side's dirty and the other side's clean, just so if there's any debris or sand or anything, it's not falling into the solution, and it's kind of like a trigger for me to know that we're gonna use the other side, not this dirty side. So once that's done, you basically have prepped it and you have cleaned it now. So we're gonna dry it next. I use these microfiber waffle towels, which are basically made for drying, and they don't scratch the car. So as I said, I had done one whole microfiber towel already, which covered the whole top of the car, the whole hood, and the whole front of the car. So you get pretty good mileage out of one. But the microfiber towel is pretty damp. I think I'll use this once more, and then I'll switch to this one, which is dry and has not been used. Feel free to use 3 if you need to. I can usually get around the car with 2, but sometimes I do use 3. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna dry the car off, and it's very, very smooth. It's like a wax finish almost. Wait till you get done and feel it. So I'm switching sides as I go here with this towel, just to keep, otherwise it's just too wet, and plus I'm hoping it's pretty clean, because I don't really want to get this dirty. Usually these stay pretty clean if you do it right. The towels just get wet, they don't get dirty. I'm gonna put this one aside because it's pretty damp, so it's having trouble drying. It does still dry, but doesn't get it completely dry. And sorry about if I'm out of breath, because I was just running around the car after I did the first one and forgot to push the video. I photoed it. So I was like, all right, let me finish this quick and then I'll do another demo. I usually use one of these fluffy microfiber towels to do just the end polishing. This one I got with an Adams ceramic kit. It was like a finish buff, and I really like these. They're really, really soft and supple. But you can use any soft microfiber towel. I got links below for ones I have as well that are not these, because you'd have to buy the whole ceramic kit to get these, but they're similar to these. So then you're just gonna buff it dry. I usually just buff it, especially the painted surfaces, because they tend to, sometimes if it's humid out, the drying cloth won't get everything, and it'll leave like a foggy spot. Not that it's just hasn't been buffed out really nice. So this just gets the rest of it. I don't really have great lighting in here. I wish I had better lighting. It's another project for me. But I can still see what I'm doing. If you want, what I was thinking too is wear one of those LED headlamps so you can really see what you're doing. Because sometimes I'll get it out in the sun and then I'll see like a little foggy spot or some product left behind, and usually just buffing it out with one of these towels comes right off. You're gonna have to go over the part you did already a lot of times, like because you're gonna overspray. It's impossible not to. So you're kind of doing the edges of the last thing you did twice. But that gets it all clean. So that whole front of that car, except for the fender on that side, is done. It looks really nice, and it really, if you just put your finger on it, it's smooth as silk. Yeah, friends would tell me, oh yeah, as they're going to get in the car and they feel how smooth it is. They're like, oh, what did you do? It's like all waxed and everything. It feels beautiful. And I'm like, well, it's not really wax. It's just this product that I use, and this technique that I've developed over the years really makes the car smooth and beautiful. It's going to be as if you waxed it and buffed it maybe twice. That's how nice it's going to be. It's going to look that good. It's going to feel great. It's going to be super slick, very aerodynamic. A little bonus. So that's that on the fender. You're going to repeat the process. So I'll do, as I said, I do the top of the car, then I do the flat areas, then I do the front fenders, then I work my way back, because you're going from the cleaner parts to the dirtier parts. I find the front, except for this trip, doesn't usually get that dirty. This trip it was dirty. So I do that first. You can shuffle this around however it works for you. And then I work my way to the back. The behind the wheels here are usually pretty dirty, so that's like second to last. And then I'll do the back of the car last. The back of the car is always completely filthy. I don't know if it kicks up a dust storm back here or what, but the back is the worst. And you may go through an entire 8 sides of a microfiber towel just doing the back, because it's just going to get dirty so fast picking up the dirt. And even after it's been washed, I'll still get a lot of dirt off the back, because when you finish with this detailing process, your car is immaculately clean. It's not got any dirt on it, and it looks great. Did I mention it looks great? Okay. Yeah, so you're going to do that. Then I'll do the door jambs, because they need to be done, especially on the Teslas. The Model 3s, the seal doesn't go to the edge of the door, it's in, so it gets dirty here, it gets dirty and wet in here. So I always take care of the door jambs. Not everybody sees them, but when you open the door, you see them. So I do those next. Then I'll do the wheels. Same thing, I'd spray them. I'd wipe them down with a microfiber towel, and then I dry them off. It's the same process really on the entire car. You're gonna do the same process, the glass, to the finish, to the wheels. Then dress the wheels. I'll do inside the jambs inside the trunk and the frunk. Not every time, they don't always get that dirty. The back on this car tends to get dirtier faster. The frunk almost is always pretty good. I don't have to do that every time. And then you're done. So I'm gonna finish the car up, and we'll take a look at it and show you how good it looks. Hopefully it'll live up to the high expectations that I've already set for this process. All right, guys, I'll see you when it's done. All right, guys, the car is done and it's looking fantastic, but you really can't get the full appreciation of it here in the garage. You're gonna have to wait for me to bring it out in the morning. And I'll tell you what, I'll do a walk around outro right after this. And let me know in the comments if you think it's as beautiful as I do. And if you have any comments about better ways to do it, or if you like the way I do it, yeah, let me know. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.